I've explained the 7 categories of otherness to my friend from Rock Canyon, Aaron Jacobs. He's 15 years old and a sophomore. And 2 major categories that he differs from me is religion and gender. Clearly, Aaron is of the male gender, but while I'm a Roman Catholic, he's a Mormon. So today we are going to talk about these categories and like how they impact life as well as his daily life. So my first question for you, Aaron, is how do you feel, like, how do you experience the active form of prejudice as a member of the male gender?
Well, first, should I look at the camera or?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel that as a male, that we are more like we're not as judged as much women are. If women or a girl does something wrong, they're more like held to it by other women. But men, they can easily be forgiven. And also that I feel, as I'm older, that around the workplace and as I've seen that my dad has talked about, that he receives a better income than a woman would, which is I've seen that is held around definitely around the United States and other countries as well.
Yeah, like a woman doctor will not get as high as an income as a male would. I understand that. But you were explaining how you thought girls just in your daily life, like in high school, get held to a higher standard almost. Like, what are some examples of that?
Well, say if a girl does something wrong, like, I've seen that friends, if, say, she dated a guy that wasn't really, good, dated another guy, I've heard, that men would, if they dated a bunch of women, they'd be called, a player, or, say,
Or they even might be like rewarded for that.
or
Like, oh, you
rewarded,
dated a
oh,
woman.
you're such a cool guy, but girls would be called things such as, sluts and ugly words like whores and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Especially to their friends, too.
Yeah, so that's like a social prejudice almost. And then you have an economic prejudice with different incomes and stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, like, you agree that as a male, you're kind of part of a dominant species, like, you're the dominant gender.
Yeah, especially not as much in this country. It's a big problem in this country, I feel. But it's not looked upon because especially males don't really look upon this problem.
But women do, like, when you have
Women's rights, they talk about it all the
feminists and
time,
everything.
feminist. But I feel that since feminists are women, they don't really get a say as much as they do as much as men do.
Okay, and then, so basically, as a male, you feel that you do receive some dominant traits and everything. But then shifting to your religion as a Mormon, how have you experienced active form of prejudice as a Mormon?
Well, as a Mormon, it's different. Like, even they say they never really understand, people at school don't really understand the religion as much as Mormons do. Like, Mormons, they talk about how they make fun of us all the time. They say, Mormon jokes and stuff. I've heard numerous of those, and they don't really understand that we're different from them. And they sometimes don't accept that.
Yeah. So, where do you feel the most rejection and prejudice on a daily basis?
Definitely at school. People at school talk about how I dress, how I look, what I talk about, and they definitely talk about all the missionary work that we do around the states. I've never done missionary work myself, but as a stereotypical Mormon, they see people talk about, oh, that's just dumb how they spend their whole day doing stuff and walking around house to house trying to spread their word, which they feel is just annoying and irritating. But
Yeah.
for me, I really feel that it's a big part of our religion, and I don't really think they understand that.
Because I know firsthand, like, when my mom would see some missionaries in our neighborhood, she'd be like, guys, don't answer the door, there's Mormons. Like, I don't think people understand that they mean well. They're not doing anything bad or anything.
I kind of understand how it is, especially the things that would come to your door, like advertisement, but
Yeah.
we're not trying to advertise our religion. We're trying to share it, and we're trying to give you a new look upon life.
So basically you say, like, on a social aspect, on a daily basis, you receive some prejudice from your classmates and people like that, just because they don't understand missionaries and all of that. What else do you think they don't understand about your religion?
Well, definitely are the temple that we go to and our service that we do. At church, their service is 1 hour and then maybe long of 2 hours. Our service is 4 hours long, and they don't really see that every hour counts, every minute counts of that service. But they, and how much education I get from those services, they just feel as an excuse to waste your time and day.
Yeah, and so I understand that. And then what are some things that are pretty similar, just real quick, that between Christianity and Mormons? Like, you really aren't that different.
Like, I see that people talk about how, like, we're not allowed to date till 18, but a lot of families do that, and a lot of families see that, like, you can't have premarital sex. Definitely, I've read about Catholic says in the Ten Commandments, too, you're not allowed to have premarital sex.
Exactly.
It's the same with Mormons, and
Yeah, so like your moral code is not much different. And then just finally in closing, I remember you told me before how like at hotels there's always holy Bibles. How is it different as a Mormon
yeah,
with
I
that?
feel that, like, just public places, they don't really support the Mormon culture. Like, usually you go to a hotel and find in a drawer a Holy Bible, but you never see a Book of Mormon or anything.
That's definitely a big one.
Which is why we try to spread them around also during our missionary
Because
work.
America is predominantly Christian, so as a Mormon, you're clearly part of a lesser, more subordinate group. And so, just basically in conclusion, you basically just feel that you receive prejudice and kind of rejection as a member of the Mormon religion. And even though you're not even that different, you just still get that rejection. And then as a male, you feel that you're basically part of the dominant gender and all that. So is that about it?
Yeah, that's basically everything.
All right. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Oh, you're welcome.